my drive back home to my parents' house from Sacramento. So I was fortunate enough to get an observership at UC Davis through a personal connection of mine, and I had my first day today. So basically I'm slated there for just a few days, only until Friday, so essentially 4 days of observerships. And it's a lot like med school, interestingly enough. It's a lot like being fourth year medical student. I think the more that I do observerships, the more that I'll be able to excel at them and kind of know what I'm supposed to be doing, or like how I'm supposed to be presenting myself. I'm trying to do that as best as I can right now, since it's my first one, not counting the one that I did prior to when I started my internship. I did an observership with an agency. Actually, it was more of like a hands-on clerkship kind of thing, elective clerkship kind of thing, but not with an institution, because their applications were not open for international medical graduates at that time. And so the only places that took international medical students at that time were agencies, because it was coming fresh off of COVID. And so I wasn't able to do any clinical clerkships like that because of COVID. But I was able to do an observership with an agency. I have my thoughts and my reservations about doing more observerships with agencies like the one that I did, but I am going to be applying to more. So this Saturday, I believe, the application for the Cleveland Clinic observerships open, and so I'm going to be applying to that, and I will also be contacting more of my med school contacts, like from my sorority, as well as contacts from my undergrad who are, practicing physicians here in the United States, to see if they're able to give me a chance to do an observership with them. And so I kind of wanted to film just a vlog really about like this next 2 weeks, because I have observerships slated for the next 2 weeks prior to when I start my job as an assistant clinical research coordinator. And I got hired, by the way. I got hired to be a assistant clinical research coordinator, and I'm starting on June 17th. And I won't post the details necessarily of what I'm doing, like where I'm doing the research in. It is, though, in UCLA. And I think part of the reason why I got the job was because they saw from my resume, there's like dead raccoons on the street. Anyways, they saw from my resume that I was a UCLA student with a biomedical engineering degree. And so I think they really liked that, specifically for the particular clinical trial that they're working on. And so, yeah, that's kind of the deal that's happening. And I'm contracted only for a couple months, and so it works out perfectly. Yeah, I'm excited. The next few months are going to be very hectic, very busy. I'm going to be filling up application after application. It is what it is. And yeah, let's see where all that leads to. So a little bit about what I did today. So I am doing my observership in the anesthesia department. And the reason why is because my contact is with the anesthesia department of UC Davis. And I was able to be in the OR on the anesthesia side, of course, for a CABG procedure. And it was really interesting because it was the first time I've ever seen an open heart surgery in person. And it was the first time I've ever seen the bypass machine. And that was really interesting. I hope that tomorrow will also be a really good day. Today I was kind of just really scared. I was making a feel for the hospital, gathering my bearings and all that. since it was my very first day there. I'd never been to UC Davis, or I'd been to UC Davis Hospital before, but it was kind of through a field trip, and it was definitely not showing us any of like the behind the scenes, like getting through restricted areas that only staff can go through. So today was definitely very scary for me, because I had no idea what the layout of the hospital was. I was kind of just following people around, and then when it came time for me to try to figure out how to get around by myself, I just trusted my gut instinct and followed what I kind of remembered from where people led me through, and fortunately I didn't get lost. And even when I arrived at the hospital this morning, I was fortunate enough that I was able to work things out pretty smoothly. And yeah, I'm glad that things are working out pretty well today, and hopefully for the rest of the week, everything will work out smoothly. For next week, I'm not going to be at UC Davis anymore. I'm going to be in Sutter Health somewhere, and I got that observership through another contact of mine, and this one is through my sorority. So those are going to be in IM and OBGYN. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to touch base while I'm driving. I know it's not necessarily the safest thing in the world. I swear I'm keeping my eyes on the road, only glancing ever so slightly at the camera just to, keep eye contact and whatnot. Yeah, I figured now would be the best time to film something, because I have a pretty packed schedule. Like every day I'm doing something different, and then on Saturday I have something scheduled for a half day, like just the morning. I might drive back to LA that day, or I might drive back on Sunday instead. It all depends on how I'm feeling, whether I miss my cats and my husband too much. But yeah, I might drive back to LA on Saturday or Sunday. And the reason why is because on Monday I have a pre-employment health checkup
in about 10 miles
at UCLA. I think that's where I'm going to end this video. I might film more throughout the week. I don't know if I'm going to be filming actual stuff at UC Davis, perhaps just like random b-rolls here and there, no actual kind of like vlog content, because I don't feel comfortable doing that in public. Thanks so much for watching, I guess, maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna end the vlog here, but I'm gonna try my best to keep filming this week, and hopefully it'll come out to be a pretty interesting vlog for you to watch if you're an IMG yourself. So that's it for now. I will see you later. Bye. Forgot to mention that I got to see grand rounds on the first day, which is great. So the case for the grand rounds that Tuesday was OB anesthesia for placenta accreta, and it was very interesting because I'm interested in OBGYN, and so the case was very apt and timely. And I even got to speak with the attending who made the presentation for the grand rounds. And it was great to pick his brain. I learned that he himself was an IMG, a US IMG like me. And so it just gave me encouragement to keep going. Also forgot to film anything on the second day, but it's okay. Basically, it was more of the same stuff that happened the day before, just more OR exposure. And then at the end of the day, I was able to sit in a lecture for the medical students who are rotating in anesthesia. And a little bit before that, I got to talk to a resident who basically had a roundabout way of getting into anesthesia, and also got a little bit of encouragement to find a roundabout way to the specialty that I want. So yeah. So the next clip is going to be about day 3 or the beginning of day 3. I talk a little bit about what happened in day 2 in the next clip, so I hope that it's okay that I didn't really film anything for day 2. Hi there, I am driving on the way to UC Davis Hospital, and yesterday I wasn't able to vlog like this. I think it was because I was kind of discouraged a little bit yesterday, which is fine. I mean, I expect to get a bunch of naysayers or people who are not just going to encourage me or sugarcoat things for me, which is fine. It needs a little bit of a reality check here and there, obviously. I don't know, I just find it a little bit like I don't need the discouragement because I already have like this internal kind of doubt within me that discouragement kind of just seems counterproductive. But whatever, I mean, like, it's not like the person who said it knew what was going on in my mind. So they said it out of the goodness of their heart and genuine concern for me succeeding. And so basically the attending that I was with yesterday sat me down and talked to me about my goals and like my prospects for residency as an international medical graduate given my score. He doesn't know any of my other stats and all that stuff, but basically just based off of my score and my educational background, pretty much told me that my chances of getting into the specialty that I want is probably very slim. Probably have a better chance of getting into family medicine, maybe internal medicine. So yeah, that's a little... Reality checks are always hard, but whatever. Today I'm meeting with a different attending. I'm excited because it's going to be in the field that, or at least closer to the field that I really want to pursue. And basically based off of what the attending said yesterday, I kind of spent the last night looking up programs, spreadsheets on Reddit and all that stuff, and kind of just planning my next step after this week. Planning to the best of my abilities for what I should do for the next week, of course, because not next week, but in the future, because of the observerships that I have lined up and a job that I have lined up as well. I'm sure I can do some observerships while working my part-time job, but only probably like one day a week or something like that. Overall, it's looking a lot like I might not be ready to apply this year, but I did sign up for a webinar that discusses the application process for the specialty that I want to go into, and so I'm going to do that. Other than that, that's kind of the update. So it's like 7 a.m. right now. I'm supposed to be there by 8 o'clock. It looks like I'm going to be there pretty early, which is fine because it's going to give me enough time to find parking, maybe grab a cup of coffee before I head up. It's been a pretty good half of the week already at UC Davis. Today is my second to the last day, and so hopefully it's going to go great, and that tomorrow will be even better. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be volunteering at a clinic, a student-run clinic. So, yeah, it's exciting. Anyways, I think I'm going to go now. Yeah, bye. All right, hi, I am almost there. And I just need to park my car. Hi. So I just wanted to do a quick check-in, and before I head inside, basically today was my last day at UC Davis, anesthesia, and I wanted to do just a quick check-in about my experience for the past week, and it's been really good. Everybody's been really friendly and very accommodating, and they let me see a lot of cool things. So I had never seen an open heart surgery before. I'd also never seen a vaginal hysterectomy before. All of the hysterectomies I've seen and assisted with as a medical student in the Philippines were all laparotomies, and nothing vaginally. But I have seen some laparoscopic procedures like vaginally, just like polypectomy, stuff like that. When I was in medical school, I was even able to scrub in for one of those procedures as well. So it was great to see a hysterectomy being done vaginally, and yeah, had a pretty good experience. The anesthesia team was really nice. They kind of figured out early on that anesthesia kind of wasn't really my main interest in terms of residencies and what I want to pursue in the future. So they let me talk to some OB residents, some OB attendings, basically let me just kind of hang out with the OB people for a little bit so that I could get a little bit of exposure with them as well. And even when I was watching the procedures, the OB surgeons were able to, teach me a little bit, as well as connect me with people who are like myself, like IMGs like myself, and have made it to an OB-GYN residency. So I'm hoping to get her contact information so that I could contact her and pick her brain a little bit about like the whole residency application process for OB-GYN. And overall, it was a very good experience, I think. I think it was also a very good first experience in terms of observerships in the United States, because it's a teaching facility essentially, and so they're used to having like medical students come in and observe, and so they're very sensitive to like the medical students' interests, and as well as very accommodating, and because it's a teaching facility, a lot of people are very willing to teach, and they're not impatient with you or anything. And overall, I think it's just really good. Now, in terms of how different it is from my experience during my medical school in the Philippines, a lot of it is actually pretty similar. I'm surprised by how similar it actually was, because you just never know, because you've just never been in that situation before, or like seeing the behind the scenes in healthcare here in the United States. And since a lot of healthcare practices are standardized worldwide, a lot of the things that we do there in the Philippines are also what we do, or what is done here in the United States. And I think that's really good. I don't know, I always kind of had a picture in my head that because it's a developing country, the Philippines would have, I don't know, more barbaric practices, or like it's not as advanced as how it is in the United States. And from what I've seen, a lot of it is very, very similar. Of course, our facility in the Philippines, or where I did my clerkship and internship years, was not as well funded. We didn't have like scrub machines. We didn't have to buzz in with an electronic key card to everywhere, and that was something that was new to me. But other than that, like and how we mitigate that in the Philippines, of course, is we'd have securities, like paid security people, to keep outsiders out of places where they're not authorized to enter. And then in terms of scrubs, we ask our medical students, our residents, and pretty much anyone who's about to enter into an area that's supposed to be sterile to carry their own clean scrubs from home and then only use those clean scrubs when they're entering the area that's supposed to be clean, and then of course like sterile practices once they're actually entering a sterile field. But otherwise, yeah, a lot of it is pretty much the same. We also don't have the same fancy like syringes that they have here, like the fancy needles that they have with the self-closing safety caps. Those are neat. And like the prep sticks that they have too for cleaning the skin before they do any sort of procedure that has to be sterile. That's also really new to me. But other than that, it's a lot of stuff that I feel like I would learn more about once I'm actually in the setting of like a clinical residency. And another thing that was different is of course the EMR. And so in the Philippines, we've adopted a new EMR system in the training hospital where I did my clerkship and internship years, but it's nowhere near as advanced, nor is it anywhere near as convenient as the ones that they have here. And that's one thing that I wish we had in the Philippines, but I'm sure it'll get there eventually. But we still rely pretty heavily on paper charting in the Philippines, and you know, that's just something that comes with more funding, more technology available over there, and you know, it's to be expected of a developing country. But I do wish that in the future, soon, in the near future, that it's gonna adopt a better EMR system, just for the convenience of everyone involved. Like charting here in the United States is much quicker and simpler because of the technology that's available to healthcare professionals here. And so it makes for safer patient conditions, of course, safer and more streamlined continuation of care and all that. And so yeah, that's kind of my thoughts for the 1 week that I was there. I got some freebies, care of my close tie with the administration in the anesthesia department. And so yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about like how I was able to get this position, because this isn't something that's advertised, that's available for international medical grads. And it's understandable. It's because they prioritize their own students or students who have applied for a away rotation through VSLO, and I get it. Like, they want to give the students the best possible experience, and so in order to do that, they have to keep those numbers low, and it kind of limits the number of people that they can take on. And so observers from outside facilities are kind of put in the back burner compared to their own students, and so that's totally understandable. And so as an IMG, if I were to give an advice to someone who was looking for opportunities like this, it really helps to have someone on the inside to help coordinate things for you. And once you have someone in the inside to contact, like the people who would be open to have an outside observer come observe them, then once you're in that position, then you can just make your network larger and find people that are willing to teach and willing to kind of show an international medical graduate around, and those people exist. And it's not all hopeless for all of us. I know the process is very bleak, and Reddit makes it seem like it's an impossible task. And I get that it's very difficult, but if there's a will, there is a way. And my friends, you just have to find a way. Do whatever it takes. Talk to people. Be friendly and professional, of course, still, that's number one, but just don't be afraid to ask. And if the answer is no, then the answer is no. So that's kind of where I want to leave this week's vlog. I hope you found all of that entertaining, and I hope that you found all of this helpful. I wish I could have vlogged more while I was there, but I was kind of scared to pull my phone out and I didn't know how much I could record while I was inside. I probably could have recorded like the scrub machine in the locker room, but yeah, other than that, I guess that's kind of it for this week. Next week I'm going to do another observership, again with a contact of mine, and I might vlog that. Oh, and tomorrow I'm going to be volunteering with a free student-run clinic back in Sacramento. It's called the Paul Home Clinic, and it's an Asian clinic, and it's pretty much catering Asian patients that don't speak English very well or come from a low socioeconomic background. And so it's a free clinic for them, and they're able to consult with medical students. I think some attendings even volunteer their spare time, and yeah, it's going to be a good Saturday, I hope. I already checked out the clinic earlier, like the location of where it was at, and hopefully no hiccups tomorrow. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow then, or if I don't film tomorrow, then I'll see you next week. Bye. I just wanted to do a quick kind of overview of all the freebies that I got from this experience, which is nice. So I got a little bag thing, pen, hand sanitizer, the badge, just so that I don't get questioned when I'm walking around the place. This doesn't have like the electronic capabilities, it's just paper. And then this is, I think this is a USB hub. Yeah, and then lip balm. And I think this is for like a clipboard or something. Yeah. And this, I've always wanted to have one of these. It's like the thermal cups that you can use the lid as a, or the cover as like a tea cup. And so like you press this button down and you're able to pour out of it, which is great. And water bottle, plastic, and then this drawstring bag. And so yeah. Thank you so much for watching. This video is kind of weird because I'm editing it on my iPad instead of my computer like I usually do. So thank you so much for bearing with me, and I'll see you in the next one.